What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another daily Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with this update, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. Remember, going to keep you guys up to date here on YouTube with all the latest Man City transfer news this summer. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. It is free. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below, and finally do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore. Very highly rated app. It's free to download, and they're going to keep you up to date with all the latest scores ahead of the new football season. Going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest scores, as well as all the latest match information, statistics, analysis, and all your good footballing needs. And what I really like about Sofascore is it's not just limited to football, but you can go and keep up to date with all the latest scores and information from any of the sports games that you guys love to follow. It's all in one place, all in one app. As I said, free to download. Do download using my link in the description. So we're going to crack on with this video. We've got no ins to speak about, so we're going to start off with the outs, and we've got the very latest on Manchester City young centre-back Luke Mbete. Now, he's currently on pre-season with Manchester City. He's been doing quite a lot of media press stuff with Manchester City over the last few days as well, and it's been really good to hear the thoughts from a player at Manchester City who spent so many seasons out on loan and giving their thoughts about what it means to represent Manchester City and what it means to play for Manchester City as well. Clearly has a big passion for Manchester City, Luke Mbete, and also has a big passion for doing well and playing football as well. And because of that, Manchester City will be looking to try and push Luke Mbete on, and by the close of the transfer window, I'll be very surprised if he hasn't been loaned out somewhere. And according to Salim, Manav over in Turkey, Trabzonspor over in Turkey are interested in making a move for Luke Mbete, and I think that would be a brilliant loan because they're a fantastic team, but also be an incredible experience that to spend the season out on loan in Turkey for Luke Mbete. So I think that would be a really good move. I'm not too sure about how much playing time he would get there, but we'd have to wait and see. But certainly when some big, very successful teams from Turkey come calling for a player who spent quite a few seasons playing in the English football leagues, playing in the Championship. He's dipped his toes into playing in League One as well. He's also played abroad. So going to Turkey, I think, would be a huge move for him. So we'll see if they do choose to make a move or not. Now, moving on, another Manchester City young player, Yan Couto, got the very latest on him, and BILD over in Germany have said that an agreement for Yan Couto to join Borussia Dortmund this summer is getting closer. Manchester City are believed to be looking for 30 million euros, with Dortmund's latest offer at 20 million euros plus 5 million euros in add-ons. I personally reckon Man City are going to be probably holding out for as close to 30 million euros as possible. If I was to translate that into pounds, we'd be looking for, I reckon Man City had probably a deal worth around 25 million pounds. 20 million pounds as an upfront fee with 5 million pounds in add-ons, I think would be enough to get that done. So that would be a deal worth 28 million euros. So 22 million euros as an upfront fee with 6 million euros in add-ons. That'd be an extra 2 million euros on what an upfront fee of what Dortmund are already willing to offer Manchester City, and an extra million euros as well on top of the add-ons, which again, not too far away, and it is thought that this is going to get sorted very soon. No mention yet of a buyback clause or a sell-on fee, so I can't guarantee that Man City are going to include that. Now, Fabrizio Romano has said that a deal for Yan Couto to join Borussia Dortmund is close to being agreed. It says the clubs are working on the add-on structure of the deal, and once that has been sorted, Borussia Dortmund are going to book Yan Couto in for a medical, which is believed to be happening in the coming days. Dortmund are confident that they're going to get this deal done overall for under 30 million euros. As I said, if I was City, I'd be pushing as close to 30 million euros as possible. And Patrick Berger over in Germany has said that Dortmund are asking for a loan for Yan Couto this season with an obligation to buy, so we would get a fee package worth, he reports, of 25 million euros. And I'm not completely against loaning Yan Couto out, but it does smell of we have Yan Couto for free because we don't want to pay this summer, and we want to pay next summer instead, and still picking him up for the same fee as what they would for next summer for this summer. Now, you could argue that he's going to have a year less on his contract, so he wouldn't be worth as much, but I could also argue you're getting Yan Couto for free for a year. Doesn't sit right with me. If they want to go down that, Man City were looking for 25 million euros as an overall package. Pay a loan fee on top of that, which means you pay 5 million euros this summer, pay the rest of the 25 million euros from next summer onwards. We will see. As I said, Man City, if they do go down that loan route, I imagine City will be looking for a little bit better of a deal as a little sweetener. Maybe you're looking for close to 30 million euros. You want the loan and then sign him next summer as an obligation to buy. Maybe you go for that and you add a little sweetener and ask for a little bit more, so we do get 30 million euros. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, moving on to the final transfer of the hours takes us on to a very quick update on Ederson, and he has now posted on his Instagram story, so no longer his wife doing the talking, but Ederson doing the talking, and he has said that the Athletic report that has come out a couple of days ago is false. He says that the day in question was hard. It meant that he missed the rest of the season. He couldn't help Manchester City at the final push. It meant ruling him out of representing his country, who he's proud to represent at the Copa America. The Brazilian then goes on to say that he is continuing with his preparations for the upcoming season. I thought this was a very well-written, professional and carefully worded statement from Ederson. And as I said, we were looking for some clarity to come on this because the reports that were coming out from Sam Lee, who I'm again going to put on record, I do not blame Sam Lee for any of this information coming out because this information is relayed to him and he reports it. His job is to report news and someone's laid information to him, which Ederson is saying isn't true when it could well still be true. He's just saying that it isn't true because he doesn't want to upset the Manchester City faithful, and some leaks have come out and all of a sudden he sees there's a big backlash and he's not happy with it, so he's going to backtrack it. At the moment, my understanding is Ederson still open to a move to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabian clubs are struggling to afford Ederson, so whilst that is the case, I think Ederson just wants to try and remain professional and continue with his preparations for the upcoming season. Pep Guardiola sounds keen on keeping Ederson here, and while Saudi Arabian clubs can't afford him, we're going to have to persevere with that, both from Ederson's point of view, from Manchester City's point of view, and the fans as well. And I'm hoping that if Ederson is still a Man City player by September 1st, all the fans really get behind Ederson because he is a top-class keeper, which I'm just relaying the words of what Pep Guardiola said. And if you don't trust the words of me, trust the words of Pep Guardiola because he is an outstanding goalkeeper. There aren't many goalkeepers out there who are better than Ederson, and I think Man City would be better in keeping Ederson than letting him go as of right now. We will see. Ederson's 30 years old, 2 years left in his deal. Doesn't have to sign a new contract. It'd be easier for him to make a move away from City next summer than this summer. Man City may have an easier time of replacing Ederson once things become a bit clearer after Stefan Ortega Moreno signed his new contract. And also, we get ourselves 12 months here to start looking for potential replacements rather than dealing with 5 weeks in trying to find a replacement. Obviously, 12 months is much better than 5 weeks in finding a world-class, top-class replacement. Now, moving on to the final story that I want to speak about takes us on to the contract news. Brilliant news when it comes to an update on Manchester City main man manager Pep Guardiola. Now, Pep has said he will not rule out staying at Manchester City. He says that he's never wanted to leave and he would love to stay. He wants Manchester City to get the talks and get the contract rolling, so he's ready to sign and he wants to stay at Manchester City. And what we've seen over the last 48 hours is Pep Guardiola giving his biggest tease, his biggest hints yet. He wants to stay at Manchester City. My understanding as of right now is Man City don't want to get that ball rolling. They'll get that ball rolling when it gets to the autumn, into the winter, and they'll get something sorted between November and February. So I presume with the time frames, very interesting time frame, that Man City probably want to see where they stand when it comes to the potential 115 charges. If we're going to be found guilty, if we are found guilty, what are the punishments? What are we dealing with? Things will become much clearer in 4 or 5 months' time than what they are right now. And I think Man City are just being very hesitant on what they want to do when it comes to new contracts for players, for staff, including Pep, and even bringing players in right now as well, which would explain why it's very quiet out there in terms of both incomings and outgoings. Man City just seem to be happy to stick with what they've got right now until things become a little bit clearer, a little bit of a cloud of judgment there. And Manchester City just trying, I think, to play things very safely right now. And Pep Guardiola has come out and said just that if no one's leaving, Man City aren't going to be bringing any players in, which to me, I have to stress the importance that even if no players leave Manchester City this summer, we must capital M-U-S-T, sign an alternative to Rodri. We cannot be asking Rodri to do 55 to 60 games this season, and if you aren't going to give Rodri all them games and you don't sign an alternative, start preparing yourself for Man City not having as successful of a season, because Rodri is world class. Not having him in the team, you notice a big difference. You really do. See last season when we had Rodri playing and when we didn't, and see the differences in performances. He is a huge player, very difficult to replace. You need to find an alternative though. We've had all summer, there's no excuse to not find an alternative to Rodri, unless you're going to use Calvin Phillips, or if you're going to use Mateo Kovacic or somebody else. Again, Man City may just be happy to sit with what they've got. But to me, world-class alternative who can complement Rodri, who can provide competitive competition for Rodri's spot as a number 6 or going in as a number 8, and also takes the reliance off John Stones, who seems to be made of glass, and heading into a season saying we're expecting John Stones to be doing 30, 40, 50 games for Manchester City, when realistically that just is not going to happen. Man City have control about doing something about that. All the evidence is pointing towards giving Rodri a little bit of a rest and not addressing it this summer. To me anyway, and giving my thoughts, isn't good enough. Man City are accumulating a lot of money. Expect Cancelo, Couto, Phillips all to leave Manchester City. That, for net spend, gives Man City enough money to go out there and sign an alternative to Rodri. Not doing so, to me, leaves things very dicey and very interesting. You're taking a big risk heading into the season with not signing an alternative to Rodri. And I think a lot of City fans are going to sit there and agree with me when I say that doesn't sit right with me. Rodri ends up picking up a serious injury this season. That's going to be detrimental to Manchester City's season, and right now we can do something about it. Clock is ticking, days are ticking by. We still need to sort out who's going to be in the squad come September 1st and who's not going to be in the squad, and bringing in alternatives as well. We've let Sergio Gomez go. It doesn't look like right now we're going to be replacing him, and you're adding James McAtee to promote him to the City first team squad. We've got Savinho coming in as well. We're looking at good attacking players, but defensively and defensive midfield, looks a little bit short, and it's looked a little bit short for over 12 months now. I'm surprised that Man City aren't looking at an alternative to Rodri right now. Very surprised. Anyway, would love to know your thoughts of that, guys, in the comments below. But very positive news that Pep Guardiola does want to stay a little bit longer at Manchester City. He did also say he's been at Man City now for 9 seasons. He's not going to be doing another 9 seasons at Manchester City, but doesn't feel like his time should be coming to an end in the next year as well. So it's hinting towards 12-month extension. You get a 24-month extension on there. I will be buzzing. That'll be the best bit of business other than a Rodri alternative that I think we could do this summer. So there we go. That has been today's transfer update. Do leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Daily Manchester City transfer updates coming here on YouTube for you guys to enjoy. So do subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore. I'll see you all again tomorrow religiously for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.